What's up, you guys? This is Adam Gillespie with Rancid and Sweaty Calves coming at you with yet another video. And I'll be covering an article by bounding into comics real quick regarding James Gunn and the firing of Henry Cavill. I know he likes to say that he didn't actually fire him and that Henry Cavill just wasn't hired, but we all know that's inaccurate. Even a handshake deal is an actual agreement, it is a contractual term, so the fact that they disregarded that it necessitates that he was fired, okay? James Gunn addresses apparent age discrepancies between Batman and Superman in the wake of claiming he canned Henry Cavill due to his age. As we go through this, I'll give you a couple of highlights. I have run through this article already. I was planning on reading it as I was recording, but the last two times I tried to record, the recording cut out on me. But DC Studios CEO James Gunn attempted to address age discrepancies between Superman and Batman for his and Peter Safran's vision in the DCU. Gunn and his co-CEO Safran provided more details on the Superman film titled Superman Legacy at the end of January, with Safran noting the film is really the launch of the DCU. It focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. All that sounds exactly like another origin story, but for some reason, it also has the name Legacy in there, and for those of you who don't know what Legacy means, a very cut and dry way of interpreting it is to say it means what you leave behind. Legacy is what you leave behind for the world to consider. Superman represents truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks of kindness as old-fashioned, Safran said. I agree. I am very, very happy to hear that. However, it's not in what you say, it's in the execution that matters. With our stories, we want to take it away from good guy versus bad guy. That's what they're talking about there. Gunn said he likes the idea of going into some gray areas, which is pretty much the thing that he likes most. Gunn concluded saying that there are terrible villains like Gorilla Grodd or Joker, and there's everybody in between them, so there are all these shades of gray which allow us to tell complex stories. Going down, after providing details on Superman Legacy, Gunn would go on to announce a film about the Bat family titled The Brave and the Bold. Gunn revealed this is the introduction of the DCU's Batman. Now, he says it's not Robert Pattinson, it's not going to be Ben Affleck. However, Ben Affleck is likely to be working on some projects in the DC universe, and they say they're excited to do that. He continued on saying, this is a story of Damian Wayne, who's Batman's actual son that he didn't know existed for 8 to 10 years of his life. He was raised as a little murderer and assassin. He's my favorite Robin. Right there, that gives me pause and makes me concerned. If he's going to open up by saying this is the story of Batman working with Damian, then that's great. But the fact that he manages to completely neglect Batman in this conversation, except to acknowledge that Batman didn't know he existed, and say that this is a story of Damian Wayne, that's a little concerning because it sounds more like it's going to focus on Damian Wayne than Batman, and that's not necessarily something all that interested. It's based on a Grant Morrison comic run, which is one of my favorite Batman runs. We're putting it all together right now, Gunn relayed. And I think the Grant Morrison run is actually pretty decent. Going forward, Safran added, this is going to feature other members of the extended Bat family, just because we feel like they've been left out of the Batman stories in the theater for far too long. I agree completely. The Bat family deserves to be on screen, and it has been too long. Give us an established Batman. But the problem with that is that now you're taking away an established Superman. You're going to be giving him essentially a reboot origin story, making him extremely young, whereas Batman would have to be in his mid-30s to early 40s for this all to work out timeline-wise with him having a fully realized Bat family. But let's go through the article some more, and I'll show you some of the stuff that they're talking about regarding the age differences. Given this information, there was concern that Batman would be much older than Superman in the DCU. Clearly, Batman has already had a kid, and one expects he's spent years already with other members of the family who have graduated from Robins to their own personas, such as Dick Grayson as Nightwing or Barbara Gordon as Batgirl. Agreed. Batman and Superman are usually depicted as contemporaries who, alongside Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter, lead the Justice League. Gunn addressed these concerns during a meeting with the select press outlets, according to Collider. Noted that the film is not about Superboy, it's about Superman. He also revealed that Superman's working. He's a reporter, he's at the Daily Planet. Again, we're coming into a world where superheroes exist and have existed. Gunn then acknowledged, so does that mean Batman might be a couple years older than Superman? Yes, it could be. The DC Studios CEO previously indicated that Cavill was canned from the role as Superman because he was too old. When questioned about why Cavill would be recast, Gunn wrote on Twitter, "As I said yesterday, it's very simple. He's a different age." In response to another user, he wrote, "Superman's not meeting the major characters for the first time either. He's merely younger." While announcing his DC Studios slate, he also told The Hollywood Reporter, "I like Henry. I think he's a great guy. I think he's getting kicked around by a lot of people, including the former regime at this company, but the Superman is not Henry for a number of reasons." Gunn hasn't elaborated on what those reasons are except for his age, and given that it appears Gunn is perfectly fine featuring an older Batman, it doesn't really make sense why he would part ways with Cavill simply because of his age. While Gunn reportedly denied that he is doing a film about Superboy, it's quite possible he could be adapting Tom Taylor's abysmal Superman Son of Kal-El that was recently canned, seemingly for its poor sales numbers. In that series, Clark Kent's son, Jonathan, is made gay and turned into an activist for a very degenerate and hedonistic cause Taylor could drum out of his fingers. Gunn's DCU slate announcement confirmed that one of the leading figures of the destruction of the DC Comics, Tom King, is one of the chief architects of the slate. It would be a surprise that they brought in Tom Taylor. It wouldn't be a surprise if they brought in Tom Taylor to fundamentally destroy Superman on film as they have done in the comics. I'm going to go ahead and cut it there, and I'm just going to share my thoughts. I will scroll back up to the top just to share what it is that I'm thinking. James Gunn is quite possibly one of the worst candidates to run the DCU. Not only did he get rid of the only person that everybody wanted to keep, but he also is going to be making a huge mistake in the timeline by having Batman have existed for at least 12 to 15 years minimum, maybe longer, maybe less, who knows, probably a good 20 years of active combat in Gotham against criminal activity. So for Superman to be, as he describes, about 25 years old, it means that Batman has already been working for the majority of Superman's life. Having a younger Superman and that old of a Batman is, in my opinion, a mistake. And keeping actors like Ezra Miller around when he is full of controversy and getting rid of an actor like Henry Cavill, who has done nothing to deserve being fired, really is agitating for me to see. My thought is that they're going to go with a younger, wavier, more thin and easily manipulatable actor who isn't necessarily as on board with the Superman character as Henry Cavill, and would rather just keep their job by shutting their mouth and doing what James Gunn and Peter Safran says, than actually talking about what's in the comics and trying to relay a message about what Superman truly stands for and how he would act in certain situations. That's what I think. Now, whether or not I'm right is totally unknown right now, because we don't exactly know what's going to happen. But this right here does not give me a great vote of confidence. He's admitting that he's at least a couple of years younger than the rest of these characters. But for Henry Cavill, who looks amazing for his age and could quite possibly be the best candidate to play Superman, being canned while every other character is being played by someone else who's probably not going to fit the role, and the timeline of the story just doesn't make much sense. Now, I hope that this goes well. I like what they said. He stands for truth, justice, and the American way, and kindness in a world where kindness seems old-fashioned. I really, really hope that that's the case. I really hope that they nail this character. But I don't have any hope right now. They have to really, really prove themselves. That being said, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts, share this video out there with your friends, subscribe, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video that I upload, and check me out on all my different socials. I leave links to those in the description below. I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.